Hey everybody, Dr. Scott Keller. This week we're going to continue on with some core work. Last week we covered some breathing with the diaphragm, so just belly breathing. I know that was challenging for a lot of you guys. I had a lot of comments and questions about it. Proper intra-abdominal pressure is absolutely vital, when we're working out, when we're lifting, and just in daily life. So that's really proper diaphragm motion when it's working properly, and being able to expand and eccentrically control the belly is vital in increasing intra-abdominal pressure to stabilize our spine, hips, and up and down the chain. So last week, if you didn't watch the video last week, go back and watch it and just start working on those. Okay, so those two exercises where we're just laying on our back, breathing in through our belly in a relaxed position, and then in a braced position are just paramount in moving on into the progression. So if you're still struggling with those two exercises, this week probably don't even try this next one, and just continue to work on that. And the coaches, be aware that some people might just lay on their back and continue to work on those. This one is once again, it's gonna be a little more challenging. We're gonna be in basically a plank position, and then we're gonna activate our glutes as well as our core, trying to breathe at the same time, okay? So what I want you guys to do as far as mobility this week is hip flexor, quad. So foam roll hip flexors on the front of the hip, the quads, and then do the couch stretch and then the hip flexor stretches. In order to activate the glutes properly, we have to be released and kind of a little bit relaxed in the front here, not overactive and tight. So that's the importance there. So just to kind of reiterate last week, when we're breathing through our belly, when our diaphragm contracts and goes in a downward position here, we should expand 360 degrees around, so from the sides, from the front, and into the back as far as where we feel that expansion. So last week we laid in this position, breathed in through our belly, braced, breathed in through our belly. Okay, so go back to those. This week we're going to be in a plank position from our hands. Okay, so I want you about shoulder width apart. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your feet are about hip width apart. Okay, and what you're going to do is this will sound familiar from past weeks, but everything from the head to the toe you need to think about here. Our neck needs to be in a good position so it's not jutting or hyperextended. So a good position of our neck. Our shoulders need to be in a downish, backish position. And active into the floor, so I'm going to have you push into the floor. Our core needs to be braced, so our ribs down, not hyperextended in our back with our ribs flared out like this. And obviously we need to have our glutes active as well, so squeeze those together, okay? So the plank position is going to look like this. Here, okay, like I said, push into the floor, retract that chin, shoulder blades are down and back, core is braced, glutes are squeezed, okay? Common mistakes here, shrugged with the shoulders and hyperextended in the back, or the opposite of that, hyperflexed in the back. So watch out for all those things. Your body should basically be in a straight line. When you assume that position and everything is stable and braced, I just want you to experiment with some breathing. So once again, try to maintain all those stiff areas, those braced areas, and then breathe through the belly. And that's step one this week, is just holding that position, breathing through the belly. So 30 seconds to a minute of breathing. Okay, then we're going to add one more step. Get in the position, activate everything, brace the core, hips down, and then we're just going to try to lift one leg up, about 6 inches is all. Breathe through the belly, 1 to 2 breaths, let it down, opposite side, breathe, 2 breaths, and let it down. Okay? So, most common mistakes here. Just like we did in the bird dog the other week, guys. When you're doing this motion here, we see a lot of people breaking at the hip there. We see a lot of hyperextension there. So the same thing applies here. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I want to see super stiffness throughout the whole body, through the shoulders, to the core, as you lift that leg and activate that glute. All the while we're trying to maintain that core stability and breathing through the belly. So do the just the plank position, hold 30 seconds to a minute with breathing, and then do about 5 to 10 leg lifts or hip extensions on each side, okay, with 1 to 2 breaths per leg lift, okay? A little confusing maybe, a little more challenging this week, so if you have questions, make sure your coaches know. Sorry about the baby in the background here. She's getting a little excited about this stuff. But email me, Scott at synergylincoln.com. Be more than happy to help you. Take care. Good luck.